Let's just
What
do it.
is happening, crew? We're back here with you all today on this wonderful Sunday, March the 3rd, 2024, to discuss our pet rock collections together. Okay.
Yes.
Pogs. Yes. No, yours is very, very, you've got the best pog. It's like a slammer. Okay. It's like a slammer. That's what you own. You own slammers. Okay.
Slammers.
Yeah. Slammers.
Yeah, I love it.
Pet rocks, Dad. Let's talk to them.
Wow.
Talk to
Yeah.
them
Hey,
about how
everybody.
special that rock
I
is.
I see everybody's jumping in here.
Yeah.
Northern, Van, Christian, Ollie, OG.
Hmm.
Gosh, all kinds of people in there. It's good stuff. Good to see everybody. Hope everybody's well.
Good to see you all.
I I recently did a video that a lot of people seem to really like. And what I want to say here, starting off the show, just so I don't forget, because I probably would, I just want to thank everybody. It's amazing how many people watch some crazy old guy just sit down in front of a camera and talk about stuff that we all share in common. And I'm really so thankful and blessed that there's so many people that actually watch what we do, Brent. And I'm honored actually. When I read the comments, it really is. It takes a lot out of a guy. You know what I mean? It's really cool and it's fun, and we're all in this together. We all kind of know what we all own. And now the whole world's discovering what we knew for many years, and we were told we were crazy. And now the whole world's coming to us. And it's just such a great thing to share it with people, and we get to experience it. And just remember, the person that's commenting above you and below you is your brother and your sister, and they are a part of the brains that you had, that you figured this thing out together. So try and be cool to each other in there. Gets a little rough at times. If I do a controversial video, it gets pretty brutal in the comments, but I just want everybody to know we read them all, and I was really touched by all of them this week. We're mind blowing, like how many comments we got. Brent, it was crazy. We
Yeah.
got 1,000 likes on that last video.
That's amazing.
Yeah, like for 6,000 views and you get 1,000 likes is pretty huge.
That is huge.
So, yeah, thanks.
Yeah,
everybody.
thank you, everybody. And hey, great job, Dad. You you you've stuck with what you do really well, and that's trying to think a little outside the box, trying to find the high concepts and things, trying to be creative with it. Stay 40,000 feet. Here's a little bit of the
Yeah.
spectrum of what everything is. And that's interesting stuff, man. Like that. I was talking to XRP Point Guard yesterday on the phone, and he mentioned that. He was like, man, your dad just has it. He's got that. He's got that brain, and he's able to share it in a way that it clicks with me. And I feel that way every time I watch one of your videos. So keep it up, good sir.
Oh,
We're all still here, man. Just
it's the way this
you.
it's just the way this madman's mind works. It's like I drive a lot of people around me crazy at times. I won't shut up, and I keep talking about the same old stuff sometimes. But yeah, thanks, appreciate it.
Yeah, much
It's
love,
just
man.
we all know so much more about crypto than we think we do. We just know a lot more than we think. And some people have a real skill for just making it sound simple. And some people are a whole lot better at it than I am, actually. There's some really good channels out there at doing that. But my background really helps me a lot, which is understanding how money moves. So, yeah, it's fun. This is fun times, guys.
This is good times.
Yeah.
Hey, welcome, Joanna, Cody, Hoofty, Ryan, Brittany, Evan,
Evan,
welcome to the chat, everybody. It's so
nice.
good to see you
Brittany.
all. Sorry, I was sick last week, so we didn't go. But yeah,
No.
if I had been any more well than I was, I would have done it because, like we were just
And it,
talking about, like your last, handful of videos, Dad, and then what we were talking about when I was back at the farm this last week or two, um, is just so big picture, and we're all starting to see the pump. This kind of 4-year cycle that comes around and happening
yeah.
coming, and big XRP event in Vegas coming, and this could be really fun, halcyon times for all of us. You know what? Again, like I'm not a price guy, but it's what that means. All of a
Yeah.
sudden we're getting 7,000 views on the channel instead of 4 for these
Yeah.
videos.
Yeah.
And once price goes up, once everybody starts to kind of open their mind up to it again. And so, like you said, Dad, like we all know more than we think about crypto. And I'm looking at all these names and all these people in the chat, and they're going to have more of an ability to share it, among people, and more people are going to ask them about it. And that's what I remember from like 3 years ago, 4 years ago, when I was super, super into it. The price was going up and up and up, and people are like, "Oh man, dude, do I have to get in? What do I got to do here, man? What is it?" And that's usually the last
Yeah.
question we ask is, "What is it?" And that's the thing that I want to talk about the most. And I think
Yeah.
once you get it, like the crew gets it, then that's it becomes foregone conclusion. It becomes hyper Bitcoinization and
Yeah.
true adoption eventually. And when we move out of these HODL years and into the FOMO years, and then into that true adoption of how it will all be used in the system. The true
Yeah.
advantage is holding and seeing this as an asset and not just currency, not just something that we
Right.
can use to buy coffee with. That's all gonna be a real revelation, I think, for people to
Yeah.
get, and
Yeah.
all of us included. As we see it develop and we see humanity adopt it, it's gonna be, as we've all said, like revolutionary, but a revelation in a way, because there's some fairness to it, and it has that finite quality that we haven't seen in other assets, and
Yeah.
it's just going to be huge, everybody. It's going to be huge,
Yeah. It is. Yeah.
and we're ground level. So congrats to all of you.
Thanks. Wow, you're kind of breaking up. I don't know if it's my end or you, but so thanks, Brent, for reminding me of something that's bears repeat at this moment, because we all just lived through it for what the last. I think this bear market, somebody told me the other day, was 800 days, and I went, no way, it hasn't been that long. And then you look at a calendar, like, oh my god,
Whoa.
like that's over 2 years. And our show's only known a bear market.
Yeah.
Our show's only what 2.75, 2 3/4 years old, and it's
Mm-hmm.
like that's all we've ever known. And uh it's a shame is what it is, that all those people that I talked to, oh yeah, I lost a lot of money in crypto. That's all they say. And it's like, that's because you're how do I put this? An idiot, to put it lightly. Why would you sell something that you've lost money on? Well, because it was going to zero. Oh, okay. But it had done that 3 other times, right? Didn't you know it did that like 3 other times before you bought that coin? That it dropped
Right.
90% 3 other times, and that could happen again? Oh, yeah, well, whatever. I lost money on it. No, you lost money on it. Did crypto go away? Did it change? Did the code fail? Did anything happen? I don't even care what happened. That scam bank, man. Okay. And that's something too that's really big that I want people to understand. This bull that we're about to go in, the last one was like, for XRP, it was nothing. We didn't even get anything because of the lawsuit, because of many other things. We really got robbed, but the whole market got robbed. That double top at 68.9 or whatever it was, 69,000 for Bitcoin got robbed, because you have to remember all the timing of Three Arrows, right? And Genesis, all of it all happened. Scam bank, and all of it was black eye after black eye after black. Bitcoin had hit the mat again, and they just keep punching on it. And it just drove that, what should have been a really big bull market. It should have broke $100,000, and everybody knew it. And it just didn't. It got pounded down. So this time's different. Let's hope we don't have any massive failures. It's hard to see the horizon in a negative way for me, but there could be something big out there that could be somewhat of a black swan that could really deter this bull market this time. But I don't think so. I think this one's going to be massive, and I think it's going to last a long time. People are too impatient right now, but I think we're looking all the way into middle of 25 for this thing, September 25, I'm thinking. But hey, I want to comment because something came up in the comments here. And not that all of the comments weren't great, but Cody.
Yeah, that's what I was going to bring up.
Cody said he's going to be doing a show in person. Is that what you want to talk to me about? Cody, call me. Okay, please. You've got my number. We need to do something together.
You got to give me Cody's number, Dad, because
I've been thinking.
I want to dig into the spiritual stuff with those guys too. I feel like, I feel like Cody and his wife and I have a lot in common.
I've been thinking about doing in live group in my town, but my town is just not really much of a town. It's sort of like, I live in the sticks, folks, and they're I don't know. I'd probably have a pretty good turnout. I don't know how many people would actually show up for a crypto in-person meetup, but I know down where Cody lives, there'd be a lot of people. So Cody, if you need my help on that, I'd love to, man. That sounds like something I'd like to be part of. If you need my help, if you want to do it on your own, maybe that would be a better character builder for you as well. There was another question I saw real quick oh gosh, was it OG? He asked, if you're not in crypto, what else would you do in the money world? Wasn't that OG? Maybe
if I wanted to have a career in money, what would you suggest I go for? Obviously, already doing crypto.
Okay. You need to email me on that. I have a long answer to that would really kind of bore this show, so I don't want to really get into that. But I essentially if I were his age, because young man, I would really get into the future of technology. I would find my way into AI of some kind, and I would make sure that I stayed on cutting edge of what's coming next. Not just what's coming next for crypto, what's coming next all the time, because there's going to be waves in your life, right? Like the waves of my life pretty much were cell phone, internet, those things you guys maybe have heard of, all happened in my lifetime, and I didn't prosper from them the way I should have or could have. And I had the technology in my hand, and I didn't prosper the way I should have. So keep your eyes open and look forward to that kind of stuff. But if you get a hold of me, I don't think he has my phone number, but maybe he does. Anyway, text me if you do, and if not, I've got an angle for you that's pretty important for the rest of your life.
Yeah, there's a big one we're working on.
Yeah, we're working on a bunch of stuff in the background, guys.
Just ordered that book, Dad. I went through a whole podcast series on it too.
Great.
Very interesting.
I remember Pong. I remember before Pong, Evan. Yes. I remember when, way back when. I was never a gamer. I was too busy outside playing games.
Yeah.
I had a Commodore 64 though. That was high tech back in the day, guys.
What is that again?
Even know it.
What's that? What's a Commodore again?
Commodore 64 was literally, it had 64 megabytes. Yeah. Like you could pretty much like get all the fun names. You couldn't get all like everybody's first name and last name and their phone number on it. You had to like, that's how small a memory it had on it. It was terrible. Yeah. C64s, man. They were it. Like that's all we had. Everyone thought, wow, man, look at this before Apple, right? Before anybody could buy an Apple. Anyway, put it that way. Yeah. Home gaming. There was no such thing. Home gaming was kids get out there in the front. There's a can and a stick and kick it around or do something. Hit each other with it. Do whatever.
Yeah. You and I grew up with, it wasn't too far removed from that. But going to my dad's house, it was baseball gloves.
Right. Yeah.
It was catch. That was it. Chop some
fishing
wood. Fishing rod.
Fly rods. We either went fishing or went skiing. We either went skiing, fishing, football, or baseball. American football. Yeah. That was pretty much it.
That was good times.
Yeah. And, I'd sneak him a beer every now and then, without his mom knowing. That kind of stuff.
Yep.
Yeah. Dad stuff.
Yeah, it was good. It was great stuff, man. It was great stuff.
Yeah.
There's a kind of an analogy I wanted to tell. Because you were on some of your videos, Dad, you bring up this term that we love to use with the current leaders in our economical systems. And that term that we love is mastodons.
Or chimpanzee.
Or chimpanzee also.
I use chimp a lot, yeah.
So that thought, like I heard you say that, and it made me think of my all-time favorite show growing up, which was The Wonder Years. I'm sure everybody remembers The Wonder Years some point. It was really about kids growing up in my dad's generation. But because of when I saw the show, I caught it when I was like 12, 13 years old. And I was going through all that same stuff that Kevin Arnold was going through. So my favorite episode in that show ever was called Of Mastodons and Men. And it kind of opens with the boys and all the kids in the school are watching this video about primitive man, and what how we try to live and interact, and what motivates us to do things. And so Kevin starts dating this really cute, really sweet girl in his school, and she's got this way about her that if Kevin does something or says something that goes against the grain of what she wants, she's got this really sweet little twinkle way of convincing him to do whatever it is that she wants him to do.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I've seen that move before. Yeah.
And Kevin likes her so much that he's just going with it. He's just rolling with it. This, by the way, this is all analogy about our society and control, right?
Yeah.
So he goes to dinner to her parents' house, and very nice family and all this stuff, and they've got this dog, and the dog's name was Poo Poo, which is funny because that's what I call, some people call it butt coin, I call it Poo Poo coin.
Right.
When it's a crypto that's probably not going to make it, I refer to that as Poo Poo coin. So there's Poo Poo the dog, and this dinner's going, and it kind of starts to break out where the dad's trying to, finally there's another man in the house. So Poo Poo's a girl, and then he's got 3 daughters and all this stuff. And they are all clearly manipulating him with everything. Like they're like, it's hard for dad to even get a word in. Like he can't even talk to Kevin about sports. And so one of the greatest moments in the whole show is finally Kevin just like, he's like, dude, I can't do this anymore. There's no way I can live this life like and just be under, this totalitarian control of this
Yeah. Right. Yeah.
family, of the generations of family and way of doing things. It's like, I can't do this. And the dad, kind of hangs his head. He's like, yeah, I kind of get it, And that all made me think of what we are going through now, in the way that we talk about economics and politics. And it's not like we're sitting around here trying to poo-poo it all or take a giant dump on it. It's we want to do things in a different way. We've
That's right.
seen
Yeah.
that way of doing it. We've
Right.
seen the corruption and control, and we're not really into that with our life. We don't have ownership of that. We're not an equal in that. And
Yeah.
that was like, to me, the
Yeah.
Mastodon thing of
The theme of the show.
they
Yeah.
want, they want us all to be chimps and mastodons, clearly, so that
Yeah.
they can continue to be the middleman, so that they can
Yeah.
continue to get your tax and the fees and the. It's
And
just
it's so
no,
strange to me on a real deep level as when you get into money and when you start to understand the influences and what it's done to our lives and the way it, you know, manipulates things. We think the answer out of the situation is the system has ingrained into us, brainwashed, whatever you want to call it, turned us
mhm,
all into sheep to a level to where we think the answer to fixing money is more money, more agencies, more committees, give more money to the poor, or take it from the rich. Just that, what people don't understand is that creates more of the problem. It doesn't solve anything. You think it solves something, but once you start giving money to the poor, if all the poor have all the money, right? I don't mean that they could ever have all the money, but if they have more money, that just means goods cost more. They didn't gain anything. It
right,
just, oh, well, now, the price has just doubled because everybody has money now. That's the failure of what they've done to money. It doesn't have any scarcity. It doesn't have any exclusivity. It doesn't have anything that makes it rare or unique to own. And that's what they really screwed up. And people can't see it because they've only known money the way in the form that it is now. Most people haven't lived before 1971 when there was actually, hey, wait a minute, there was countries calling countries out because they thought they were spending more money than they had in gold value. And that doesn't happen anymore. Like all the countries are just printing willy-nilly, and it's destroying our lifestyles, and it's making more of a slave out of all of us. And what they understand is that what you and I think the solution is, most normal people think the solution is more money, and that only enslaves you further. And it's really it's this is not going to happen overnight, guys. This whole sound money and honest going into crypto is not going to be, unfortunately, I wish it could, but it's not going to happen overnight. It can't, because there are people for 3 and 4 generations now are like ingrained that this is how money works, and it's not how money should be working. Money should be working as a storage of labor and energy for you, and it should at least retain its value. It shouldn't diminish over time. It should at least stay even.
Right.
And that's been destroyed.
It's
And
it's the greatest trick of all. You
it
know,
is.
oh wow,
Yeah.
now my house is worth so much more money.
Yeah.
Oh
Yeah.
boy, I've got
No,
so much
no.
equity, you know. Then you go to sell your house and you make your big
Yeah.
payday and everything
And
else costs more. Cost you more to get into your new house. Cost
yeah.
you more for goods and services.
Yeah.
It's a trick. It's a trick. Whereas,
Yeah.
yes, that's it. It needed to be, you know, we've talked about on the show, like the greatest time in this country was when it was a true republic, and it had consistency, and there was labor and trade, and it was between people like us and communities, and there wasn't this giant foothold of corporations and taxation and, you know, these things
Yeah.
that it it's just kind of a leech, you know. And does it need
Yep.
to be there? I don't think so. I mean, in some form and ways that it does, but
Yeah.
I don't know. I hope that evolution happens to where we do take greater management over our communities and what happens, you know. And you know, we all think that things are going to change through voting and, you know, kicking the can down the road, and it just
No.
doesn't. And so hopefully, you know,
Yeah.
blockchain and other types of things will give us the ability, once we all start using it,
Yeah.
to maybe have some fair voting, maybe actually trust the process and the way that we all do things, and
And
have a kind of greater, you know,
if you
togetherness
can,
globally, not just in
yeah,
your own
it is
country,
global
globally.
issue. Yeah.
Yeah.
If uh if if we could find a way, there was a great question in there. Can't remember who asked it. I should look we should look it up.
Hmm.
Um what would you do with your profits going forward? Would you pay your property off, or would you retain other investments? I think, if I'm not mistaken, something like that. Um, that's kind of a strategy that I've been working on, and it's something that Elizabeth and I, my lovely wife, who's standing right next to me here, would we've been working on lately, and kind of a strategy that we came up with, which is kind of neat for us, unique to us because of our age group and because of the situation that we're in. We're going to, except for a couple coins, 1 or 2 coins that we think are priceless and we want to pretty much keep them forever. And you can probably imagine which 2 those are. But we're going to, all the other coins that we may or may not own. I don't know if I own them or not. I think they were on a thumb drive and they sank on a boat somewhere in the ocean. But if I were to find the thumb drive and actually have those coins, I we're our strategy, at least initially, is to find what 25% of the coins that we don't mind getting rid of, 25% of those coins. If that makes a difference in your life, do it. If you have to sell 50% of those coins to change your life, and I mean in a significant way, like they're talking about, that would be like you paying off your property, or paying off all your debts in your property, or paying off your property and then getting another investment outside of these things. The beauty of that is you keep the coins that you really like, and you've only lost half of the other coins in case that isn't where you're selling, isn't the top of the bull market. You still have some upside on those same coins. Then you could do that at the 50% mark, and then you could do it at the 75% mark. This is kind of a strategy that is completely unique to every human being and all of us out there. So, other investments outside of crypto going forward are something. What's your passion? What do you like? Are you a fisherman? Are you a backpacker? Are you gamer? Are you whatever? I mean, you have to decide what you're going to invest in after that. But if you're covered and your property's paid for and everything's done on those lines, and you get to just do what you want to be when you grow up, that's an incredible place to be. And it opens up so many doors and windows. There's no way I could tell you what those things are because all of us are so unique and we have different ideas of what the ideal life going forward would be. So hopefully that answered that question.
Yeah.
And I did see Simon's in the house
Great
and
chat,
Melissa's in the
everybody.
house. Yeah. And Joanna's in the house,
Hello to
obviously.
Edward. Hello to Vibra.
Yeah, Vibra Finance.
Yes, we're going to be looking into XRP's automated market maker and Flare. Flare's still at the top of my list to research.
Flare is crushing it right now.
World Be Free. Hello to you.
And yes, somebody asked a question earlier. Are you still buying? As a matter of fact, Elizabeth and I just bought some more coins yesterday.
Nice.
So yes, we are still advising to get in. This is not the top of the market. We're advising. That's what we did. That doesn't mean you need to be buying coins now. We bought coins, not financial advice, as my attorney is
gesturing,
reminding.
Yeah. Smart.
Let's see. What else we got in there? Wow, Evan, you want 1 million Flare. The beauty of Flare is you can put them to work. That's a brilliant. I mean, I really didn't think Flare was going to become what it did because it just went silent for so long. And I thought, oh man, that was such a brilliant idea. Oh, well, another crypto bites the dust, it was no big deal. We've seen 1,000 of them. And then it popped its head up again. And I was like, wow, look at this. Flare's coming up. And then people started buying it, starting understanding it. And its use case is brilliant. And I think it's going to be used and people are going to make money off of it. So what else is to know about it? Yeah. Yeah, Evan, right. It's part of a passive income going forward. There's a lot of coins out there that are like that right now, guys. Yeah. Let's see. Oh, somebody asked earlier when pump.
Run.
When pump.
Where's Lambo? Where's Lambo, Dad?
What are you looking at, man? It's been pumping. Well, I don't know. I don't know what screen you're looking at. Maybe you're just talking about XRP. XRP is not pumping what I'd call pumping, but like Elizabeth and I did a live stream. No, we did a Patreon the other night, and it was exactly about that. They still have legal issues hanging over their head. So that's really keeping corporate America out of the wheel of the, Ripple angle, and the global banking system's not ready to, hang their hat on that yet. But I will tell you this, when they do, when all that road is clear, and I did a video or two and I talk about it a lot. When that thing gets over, I believe it's 72 cents now. I looked at it the other day. When it gets over 72 cents, guys, it's going to have breakout momentum that has been pent up. It's a descending wedge and it's been going on for years. And when that pops through that, it's going to fly, guys. Again, I don't know. I don't have a crystal ball, but with all the new influx of people, you guys are probably even at your work and your job, you've heard more and more people talk about crypto. My show is blowing up, more viewers. still same old show, and I'm getting way more viewers. So there's more people involved in the crypto content. So all those people are going to want to. This is the beauty of XRP for a layman, right? Somebody is walking in the space. They're like, oh, okay, well, let's see. Bitcoin 64,000, Ethereum's $3,000. What am I doing here, man? I don't, that's out of my price range. And the first coin they come to that's within their price range is XRP. And they go, I want some of those. Remember, guys, that's big. And that 60 cents is cheap for people, and they like that. And that's what they're up to. And that's what they're gonna fall into. And not to say that there isn't a lot of people that know an awful lot about the background of XRP, but that price is kind of enticing to people. Yeah.
I like Hoopty's comments a lot. XRP performance has been abysmal. Let's be real.
Yes.
Yeah.
It has.
Yeah. A little steady there. Real steady.
Yeah.
And then I got a coworker into crypto recently, my first convert. Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Yep.
We're all into it all the time. All of us. Like, or you wouldn't be here kicking it with us on Sunday for 2+ hours, Whereas there's people who, this is their first run and they don't know anything about it. And we all get curious at some point. And I think that true adoption that I talk about is when a significant amount of people become curious and know enough about it. That's, we see big spikes, you can look at any adoption of anything in humanity. Look at cell phones, look at fire, look at computers, look at, baseball, look at, it's just all of a sudden it's there, it's present, it's in everyday, conversations, it's in everyday use. And that's, we think that's coming, it's, and in a foregone way, in a very conclusive way, in my mind, it's because of the principles and the philosophy behind it. To my dad's point, on a lot of these videos, I think they're scared of it. The adoption of it and our adoption of it and what it is and what it means kind of, I'm not going to say kind of, messes up their plans for this legacy money and how it's been run for a very long time. And their ability to manipulate law and push things through that they claim are financially safe, but are actually very dangerous, for us, because it's for the layman and people who aren't, great with money. I've been one of those. It's, you can hear about something and, oh, okay, this is the new thing. This is a great opportunity. Let me jump at it. And they get a lot of people that jump at that because they have the media, they have the influence, they have the control, they have the messaging. And now we have something that is sound and could restore that balance to trade, not just money, but trade and how we do it and the trust that we have with each other to do it versus these institutions. And once 10% of humanity gets that's, I think, when we're going to see a super jump. And that could be in the next year and a half in this run. Because we talked
easily
on the show, I think Northern or somebody brought it up that like 5% of humanity currently either owns it or understands what it is. And 10% is a big one, everybody. In nature, 10% of population doing something usually means the rest of the population, the rest of the hive mind starts to
Yeah.
try to obtain it and try and observes it and gets it.
Yeah.
So we're ready for that.
I've
And
I've got a great question. Sorry to
yeah,
cut you off, Brent.
what do you
I
got?
got a great question here from if this is the stacking surfer that I met in Vegas, I think it might be. Um yeah. His question, the Fed wants to own the money system. How can crypto survive when it competes with the CBDC? Um, Interesting. Simon and I just had a conversation about this yesterday. This, this is something that thankfully the public has been aware of for a year or two now about what a CBDC is and the control restraints and the way it will be able to understand every single cent that you and I spend in the manner in which we do. The biggest issue that CBDC has is they're going to be issued by yet another government. So then that makes them another 190 different currencies all printing the same thing that they've always done. We haven't solved any problem, and the people are going to finally see through that, I would hope. That's their biggest issue is there's no limit as to how many of those coins they're going to make all over again. The issue for you and I as crypto people is that I think there's going to be a way for you to exchange your Bitcoin or your Ethereum or XRP for those coins, those CBDCs in value. And then they're going to retain the crypto coins that, in my opinion, are scarce and limited in amount and real money now going forward. And they're going to give you these fake CBDC tokens as in a means of exchange, as you can atomically swap all different coins all together. And they're going to capture a lot of the Bitcoin, Ethereum, and the valuable coins like XRP and whatnot, and try and control the monetary system, like the question implied, through the use of CBDCs. I've been talking about this for a couple of years now on this show. I did a show about CBDCs as to why I thought they would fail. Why I know they will fail is because, number one, we still have the trust issue between why is US trust ruble CBDC? Why is only 6% of all the people in China even using the CBDC that they've had for over 2 years? And that's pretty much a country that's telling you to use it. I think we're kind of wising up, and I think sound money is kind of growing faster than it used to. I know most of us in this chat really aren't. We're learning. We're not completely on top of what sound money is, but as a group, we are learning a lot better. It's been a study of mine for 20 years, but the public is there, and it's getting there quick. And I know that's my answer to that question. Hopefully it wasn't too long-winded. But yeah, Stacking Surfer, you live, if I'm not mistaken, you live in San Clemente, or I want to say a beach town down south. We should hook up. Loved the conversation you were having with, I don't know. It was another guy who had a YouTube channel. We were kind of backstage talking one night, and that was a great conversation. And we need to hook up. He's got a great little channel about stacking precious metals and being around. So, yeah, Stacking Surfer. Look his channel up. Really sharp guy. Knew what he was talking about. I lost my wingman. Atlantic Living. Thanks for answering that. Love your strategy. Elizabeth is looking forward to hearing about the entire strategy, maybe a future video. Yeah. Yeah. Our strategy of getting out is going to be front and center as to what I'm doing, full exposure, what I'm getting out of what percentages and when I'm doing it. Again, I'm 64 years old. I'm in a different position than anybody else. I'm in a different financial position. I have different financial holdings. I have different companies. I have different things that make each individual's risk tolerance, if you will, or exposure to the market, completely variable. There's no one shoe that fits everybody. And that's really important to understand here. So I can't give advice about that because that's really your individual shoes that you're wearing. I have no idea where you're at. Even if I heard your whole story, I wouldn't want to be the guy that says, hey, you should sell that coin and buy this. You got into this mess, this beautiful mess you've put yourself into. And even when people say, oh, Alan, you told me to buy, I don't know, a bunch of people said I told to buy Stronghold. Oh, I made so much money, Alan. It's so great. I'm like, no, you pushed play.
Mm-hmm.
You may have been inspired by other people to do things, but you pushed by. You owned it. And the reason why I want to stress that is because one day you're going to be my age, or you're probably already older than me in some cases, but you're going to have somebody like your grandkid on your lap. And he's going to look into your eyes and he's going to praise you and look at you and go, wow, Grandpa, how did you know? How did you know that this was going to be so prosperous for our family? And how would you, you're going to have mad respect because you're going to change the financial future of generations of people below you. And when you do, you don't want to have to look them in the face and say, well, Alan told me to buy it. No, that is not what you're going to do. You're going to say, because I did the research, I did the homework, I understood the puzzle, I saw the whole pieces come together, and I lived through it. And I was fortunate enough to have the time and the desire to understand. And that's what you all have done. And you did it, not me. So remember that.
And
Enough
your
preaching.
your presence here in our life is inspirational in a way that if we didn't have it up until this point,
That's right.
maybe he and I aren't on here anymore, or trading it or doing it the way, there's no confidence, in us talking about it without that community, because that's how this thing works. Like
Yeah.
if it's just Alan and Brent trading cryptos back and forth, in 10 years, that's not going to work. That just doesn't work.
No.
And so it
No.
really is about the people in that. And that was such a good disclaimer, Dad, because yeah, everybody's gonna be coming out and like asking Hoofty and all the other crew right now about, hey man, what are you in? What are you, what cryptos do you think I should buy? And I'd say, go at it with that same. I don't even directly, like my best friends, who text me about it, like I'm even more conservative than I've ever been about discussing it, because it's like, okay, well, let's talk, and okay, whatever you want to spend, maybe take 10% and and do
Yeah.
it, and picture yourself lighting that 10% on fire, and you're not going to trade any of these, you're not going to sell any of these for a long time, like starting somewhere in there with, a family member or somebody that's just like, man, I want to understand
Yeah.
this, I want to do it. And even that is risky for your relationship with them. you know
Truly is.
I have been caught in that before, where it's like, wow, this thing's pumping, this thing's going, like, we're in, and then, that's right when volatility hits usually.
Yeah.
Um, and in the beginning, people really worry about the price. It's like, oh man, I want to make a lot of money on this.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
tunnel vision. It's tunnel vision. It's not how all of us look at it right now. So tread very carefully, with any
Yeah.
financial advice ever. Look into it for yourself. Do it for yourself. Um, I think a lot of what we do and a lot of what you do on here, Dad, is like kind of inspire philosophy, by trying to connect the dots and look at the big picture.
Yeah, I
And
try.
coming into those conversations more that way, I think builds more honesty and trust.
Yeah,
I think it's why people love the show. I think it's why we've thrived. Because
yeah,
we really don't want to tell you how to do it. We want to look into things and get fired up about stuff, and we want you to do the same. And I'm in a very different financial situation from my dad. I didn't buy crypto yesterday, nor will I probably this week. So it's like that's plan for yourselves and
yeah,
inspire around you.
yeah.
Inspire. Don't tell them what to do. Inspire them.
I saw a question from Hoofty, and it reminded me of something I just saw.
Peace out,
Uh,
Brittany.
See you, girl. Hoofty had a question about. Oh, it reminded me. Okay. Institutional money is coming to crypto. Roger that. We all got that, right? So, what does that mean? Is it going to stabilize the market? Not in the short term. In the long term, yeah. Here's why I know that. There's a fund who has a director who is connected to all the other funds, and he was being interviewed the other day, and he said it was so funny because I can't remember the fund, but I know who he is because I'd heard him speak before. But the announcer doesn't like crypto, and he was interviewing him. Somebody sent me the clip. It was cool, but he was interviewing this guy who literally has 40 trillion connections to $40 trillion in US assets, which are essentially older money. You know what I mean? Baby boomer money, right? This announcer doesn't like crypto. And he says to the guy, oh, yeah, well, there's this and this. And he goes, well, we have $40 trillion in assets that are looking for return on purchase. We're looking for avenues. And then he said, he was sort of laughing, smiling when he said it. And the announcer wanted to go the other way. And the conversation kind of went the other way for a while. And he goes, I want to remind you that that's not just 40 trillion. That's 40 trillion of us. There's another 30 trillion, which totals to almost 100 trillion, 70 plus trillion dollars, that I'm looking at an allocation of somewhere between 3 to 5% going to crypto this year. Like, what? He was talking 2024. Now, let's go back to the math that we already know. When a dollar goes into the market, it doesn't mean coin go up only $1. We've done this math before. There's a bunch of different metrics on this, but B of A did one to where theirs is somewhere between $10, okay? For every dollar put into the market, it influences the price $10 to $14. Okay. There's a bunch of different reasons for that calculation, but the biggest reason being is because so many people already own these coins, and all the coins on the market aren't liquid. They're not able to purchase all these coins. They're small pieces. And I don't know if you've noticed or heard, probably heard this before, the Bitcoin pool is getting smaller and smaller and smaller. So when you put $1 into the Bitcoin pool, it's probably up on the $14 level of what it'll do as far as movement. So now let's look at 5 to 10% of a $70 trillion. I think the cat needs to go out, Vern.
What happened?
It's all over me like a cheap suit. And so That's $70 trillion. If you're looking at 1%, that's 7 trillion, right? Sorry, 7 trillion. If you're looking at that, it's crazy. Our max high last bull was 4 trillion in market share, right? 3.9 or whatever it was. We're going to hit 10 trillion. 10 trillion this bull run. That's my guess. So that means we're going to do what? I just said it's 10 to 1. If there's a trillion coming, it's 10 to 1. That's 10 trillion. That means 3 times the price of now, something like that. 4 times the price of now. I don't know. My math might not be right. There's 2 trillion. It's 5 times. You're going to Simon's saying 10x, but it depends on the coin, right? Some coins, when we get this bull market running, Bitcoin's going to slow down. Well, maybe not because of the scarcity of it, but the rest of them are going to absolutely fly. We got our fingers crossed on XRP, obviously.
When the whole market cap valuation of crypto gets as big as gold, that's what I was like. Then will people be looking at it? I would think so.
Well, that's one of my.
You're already starting to see it with, somebody posted that thing about Vanguard, Dad. It's like, yo, if you're not going to invest in these ETFs with my portfolio, man, what am I using you for? You're a dinosaur.
Right.
And when that kind of money, and in the chat is so good right now, Dad. It's when countries like Japan, start using XRP, these big events, monetarily, are going to push this thing in a really big way. It feels like it's like you said, we reached 4 trillion last bull. Just double that would be a real eye opener, I think, for the world. Who's not going to want to predicate their currency or their system or on something that is appreciating that much? And like you said, with Bitcoin, when they really understand it and they, understand its finite nature, and then they understand mining, those ideas, those concepts just start to stack. And then it's like, we can't afford not to be in it now.
Right.
So they continue to run at it. So that's where I could see Bitcoin this time. And I loved your point about the alts too, but Bitcoin maybe just keeps kind of climbing. It just kind of, it's like, there'll be corrections, there'll be sell-offs, there'll be, people trying to accumulate it, whatever. But will we see a greater consistency is my question to you,
eventually.
Dad, versus, this kind of 4-year, I would say, market manipulation, and these traders and these people trying to, buy and sell, and make profit from it.
Yeah, we're going to see a more consistent market one day, but that's a long ways from now. People don't understand how much liquidity there is in the world, and none of it's in crypto, like none of it. Okay. And when it comes to crypto, it's going to flood in, and it's going to take 2 to 10 years to flood in. Something that came to me the other day, and I really want to share this with everybody because it really hit me hard, was what we're experiencing right now with Bitcoin, because of the scarcity and the limitations of it, and Wall Street flooding in with these ETFs. And let's remember, most of the people who are in finance still can't buy those ETFs. That was the 40 and 70 trillion I was talking about. Okay. They still can't buy it yet. Hong Kong still can't buy it yet. All of Asia still can't buy those ETFs. Well, those days are coming. I want to say it was supposed to happen March 1st. But let's just do the math on this. Listen to the sequence of this. Okay, so the ETF comes out now for Bitcoin.
Hmm.
So right about maybe it starts to level off, or there's not enough of them on the market to where it sort of slows down or gets whatever, or becomes a trickle. They can't find enough of them, so it doesn't influence the market all that much. What happens next? Ethereum has one. Boom, all of a sudden we have a new trajectory, okay, that brings the whole market up with it. Instead of just Bitcoin bringing up all the altcoins, now it's going to be Bitcoin's kind of leveling off maybe, and now we have Ethereum bringing the whole market up. And what's going to be 6 months after that? XRP's ETF. So that's what, a year out from now. So when I talk about a bull going all the way into like mid 2025, these are these stair steps of the next best reason to buy this thing. And what I talked about earlier, when you're looking at the 50 cents, 60 cents, and the new people coming into it, they're like, oh, well, wow, you know, I could buy this ETF and this one's cheaper for me. Or maybe the fourth one after the XRP one's going to be a group of 4 or 5 coins. Oh, wow, look, I got the top 5 coins. I'm just going to buy all of those. And this is new product after new product after new product, because they broke the ice with the first product.
Mm-hmm.
And it was massively successful. There's not a golf course in America where they're not talking about the success of that ETF. It blew all other ETFs out of the water. And that's it, guys. And now that's going to be a global conversation. And it's coming. It's not. It's your old 4-year cycle is done. This is my opinion. It's done. Throw the book away.
Right.
Technical analysis with that data is useless going forward, and that's my opinion. There's just so much clean ice out in front of us, guys. Remember, technical analysis is great, but where does technical analysis really fail? When you break an all-time high. Where's your new resistance? Doesn't exist. Bitcoin doesn't have a resistance above 69,000. There isn't one. What's to say it go to doubles in a month?
Right.
That kind of, when you're looking at the kind of cash that wants to own something that's scarce, it could happen so fast. And I know what all the technical people and all the Wall Street people are going to tell you this. Oh, you should get out now because it's doubled and nothing goes straight up forever. They're trying to get your coins. That's what's going to happen, guys. And it's going to happen that way. And Brenda's in the house.
What's up, Brenda?
Right? She'll be in Vegas.
Yeah, Dad, technical analysis can't measure, the sheep sniffing the hole in the fence. And then, 5 out of the 100 sheep are crawling out of the fence right now. And then those 5 sheep have 5 family members and, aunts and uncles and cousins that are running towards the hole. Now everybody looks at the hole. You can't measure that against the last 12, 15 years.
Yeah.
That's a new event. That's a new.
And how's this conversation going to go even between you and I, Brent? Hey, wow, son, I'm getting older now and I'd like to put my fortunes onto you. I really recommend that you run out and buy a bond.
Like,
no,
what?
No, I don't see that happening in the future. I don't see kids today going, oh, I can't wait to get a couple of those municipal bonds. Oh, wow. That sounds great. When
and then
you
there's
got an
children
ETF
like me who had parents like you that are like, yeah, bonds didn't really appreciate in the last 20 years.
Yeah.
Now it's really not interesting.
Yeah, I'm gonna buy a bond with a 30-year, coupon on it. Like, oh, gee, yeah, you gotta get my money back in 30 years? That's swell. When these ETFs are flying through the roof, come on. Like,
Yeah.
that's a tired song. That's old. It's done.
What I
Yeah.
what I'm liking in my generation, and you and I have talked about this, um, some of your praise to me and how I've looked at it is use case. And that's,
Yeah.
I know that the generation after me is going to want to make money and do the things
Yeah.
that they want to do, just like all of us do. But that look at how can I own something that is appreciating, and how can I own something that is useful to the arc and the curve of how we trade and how we store data and how we
Yeah.
vote and how we manage money and how we control
Secure
ownership over our things. Like
secure our identities. Yeah. All
it,
of it.
it's so old school in a
Yeah.
way that I think all these silly,
Yeah.
let's buy a government bond thing truly
Yeah.
sounds dinosaur. That really, I think that's your point about our
Yeah.
conversation. That it's like no, Dad, I'm not interested in stocks and bonds, man. Like I've seen what that does in my life. Like what's with this
Yeah.
crypto stuff? What's
Right.
going on with that? What's going on with AI? What's going on with the Internet of Things? When's
Yeah.
Web 3.0 gonna, what's that gonna look like? Um, and you say it all the time, that our younger people will be that edge. They'll be the
Yeah.
tip
Oh,
of
yeah.
the spear of humanity to run forward in hopefully good directions that we can help lead them in.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
it's always turns its own direction how people want
But
to do it.
one of
Oh,
the things it's on my show list to do, but I want to do a show on this one day, and it's how is a computer, okay, how is a line of code, right, going to trade your bond or your stock, right?
mm,
Like, how is it going to do that? I know they could adapt, they could put it on, XRP or something like that in the middle of moving it. But how is AI or bots or the future of man technologically going to use anything other than something encrypted to move around? You're not. It can't. It's like, how's it going to move a gold bar? It's that ain't happening. It's just, and as much as I like gold, it's just dying. I know it's going up in price. I still don't know quite, why, but I mean, I guess everything's going up in price right now. So because of inflation, it's going up in price. And
mhm.
it's not to say that I don't like gold. It's just it. There's something. God, I can't remember who said it. Was it Jack Mallor? I think it was Jack who said, I can put $1 million in my mind with Bitcoin, right? Or most crypto. I could put $1 million in my mind and go anywhere in the world and have my $1 million. 12 seed, right?
Yeah.
How are you going to carry $1 million anywhere with gold? Even if you do it digitally, where's the gold at? When you get to Africa, you're on a new continent. Like, where's the gold at? Who's watching it? How do I
Mhm.
get it to where I'm at now? What's that cost?
You better have
So,
trucks and boats because you ain't getting it through an airport.
no, no. And you're going to have to pay some firm that you have to trust that it's going to
Mhm.
get there, and then it has to be insured, and then you have to pay the insurance fees, and then it's heavy, you know all that adds up to just ridiculousness. So Yeah.
Yeah, you said it,
Anyway,
Joanna. You're not without it being confiscated.
no.
You take large risks moving
Yeah.
that much amount of money in gold. You know,
Yeah.
you're entering a world of hurt,
Yeah.
as the dude would or as John Goodman would say. You know.
That's it. That's right. That was a brilliant movie. Uh,
Yep.
I really, and I know I go way off on a limb on this show occasionally. I think in particular, the next 5 years, you're going to be way better off owning the top 5 cryptos than real estate. And I've had this argument for a long time with people, everybody says, "Oh, well, they're not making any more land." Yeah, that's true.
Mhm.
The issue that we have with most properties these days is, where's it parked at? What's the government? Who's the mayor? How much are they going to tax you? Are you going to even be able to charge rent going forward? Are you going to be able to collect? Are you going to be able to kick deadbeats out of your house going forward? I mean,
Mhm.
there's all these, every so many years you got to refurbish the thing. There's so much going on with crypto right now going forward that holds its value so much better. And the whole world is starting to figure that out. And this whole world goes, wait a minute, I don't have to have a property manager. I don't have to pay, taxes on it. Oh, sure, when you sell it, when you profit, but you don't have to pay property tax. I don't have to have a custodial fee even. I could just own it. Wow, there's no maintenance fee. And it's going to blow people's minds, in my opinion. But yeah.
Mhm.
And I know people can't understand that yet because it's sort of out there yet and it's a ways off. But I think there's going to be a time when we're going to look back we can already look back 15 years at Bitcoin and say, well, would you rather own the home you're in for the last 15 years or Bitcoin 15 years ago? Like, you'd be a billionaire if you'd spent $100,000 on a home 15 years ago if you'd bought Bitcoin instead. A billionaire. Like, I'm not saying that's going to happen in the future, but that's the math. That's what happened in our lifetime. So it's not that far fetched, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. What do we got question wise? What do you think of that, Brent? I know you're not so much on board with that real estate angle, but what do you think?
What? I think what you just said is sound. I mean, number
Yeah.
one, yeah, you would be a billionaire if you took the money that you bought a house with 10 to 14 years ago and you put it into that. Today you'd be essentially a billionaire, depending on cost of the house and all that. So yeah,
Right.
and it's I mean, I think there's that feeling, that argument of like what's actually real and what do people actually need. And
Yeah.
we we all want to need the ability to trust our trade system, and we want to do it safely.
Mhm.
And but I loved all your points about real estate. I always do. It's you know, the one that got me all miffed recently was a lot of people that I know bought homes to use them as Airbnbs. And already in 10,
Yeah.
15 years, we're seeing the laws change and, sort of a rent crisis happen to where
Yeah.
what's the next 10, 15 years going to look like for people that tried to buy a property and use the advantage of it. Whereas, say you attain crypto, depending on which crypto, which blockchain it is. Um, we'll just take XRP for example. There are going to be many advantages that you can take part in. From your market makers to
Yeah.
the continuing growth of the price to its use cases. Like,
Yeah.
there's something about, real estate that's great, and we all need shelter. But as far as investing goes, and strategy, you could have had 10 homes right now.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
And I'm with you. Not to say we have no idea. My dad and I have no idea if that's going to happen or not. The
No.
next 10 or 15 years, no idea.
Yeah. No,
But
that's right.
we follow the trend, and the trend is
Yeah.
looking very encouraging for that. And
I
so it's like, that is, to me, where I totally agree with you, Dad. The real estate versus the, I see so much manipulation in this. And we were having a discussion about China, and he talked about it on a video, what their real estate bubble is going to look like. And I've personally tracked that for a long time. And
Mhm.
that's scary. That's scary.
Yeah, it is. Yeah.
When when you build 20 cities in a year, and you only have 3 cities worth of people to house them in.
And your
Who got
population is declining.
those construction contracts? Who made those
Yeah.
decisions? Who? Not us.
Yeah.
Not those people.
That's
I think,
equivalent to printing dollars. It's
yeah.
inflating. Yeah. They just use, they made more doors, you know?
And right
Yeah.
now, real estate is connected to the dollar. And something you
Yeah.
talked about in your last video was us getting our mind outside of the dollar, which we've been programmed to, you know, suck at the teeth out of, and revolve and predicate our whole life and what we do around obtaining
Yeah.
it.
Yeah.
Um, and we tie invest we look at, cars and houses and all these things as
Yeah.
investments and things, yes, things that we need to get more money. But going into crypto and blockchain and other technologies, um, I think is a more open way, and then hopefully, yes, safer way for us to be able to
Yeah. Yeah.
accumulate ownership and wealth. And
Yeah.
it's a whole nother beast, whole nother
Yeah.
animal.
I
Um,
I got to answer a couple of these questions here, but it is a totally different beast where we're going, guys. It just is.
mhm,
Uh, oh, I just wanted to say one thing. Stacking Surfer, yeah, man, I still believe in precious metals. I always have.
mhm.
I started buying silver contracts in 1981. So I've owned silver my whole life, and uh, I'm not going to say whether or not I own it now because somebody might come to my house. Not that I would ever have it here. But anyway, yeah, I still own silver. I believe more in silver than gold for a lot of different reasons. Also, Jason had a great question. The House of House Financial Services said Thursday that the new quantum computers can take your crypto away. Okay, let's go over this one more time. That ain't going to happen. Okay. And now I'm going to explain why. Quantum computers are ridiculously expensive to operate. I know going forward they may not be as expensive. Can they crack Bitcoin? Yes. Could they do it for less than $1 million? No. Do they have any idea how much money is in the wallet that they're cracking? No. So why would they randomly just go after somebody's wallet? All that to be said, here's how I know that they're not going to crack them. Remember that what we currently use is SHA-256. All we need to do is switch it to 512 and bye-bye quantum. Or the next level, and then the next level, and then the next. And it's not financially feasible for them to crack your Bitcoin wallet. So there's a lot of really ignorant people that really don't understand Bitcoin, and all they want to do is attack it. And I would put the House of House or whoever they are. It sounds like, I think Jason's Canadian, right? So anyway, that's my 2 cents about that. Good luck. Have fun. Enjoy the efforts. But
Yeah.
I don't sweat that too much.
Look at the whole spectrum of what Bitcoin is and what it does, and don't let it's the easiest to attack by far, by a long shot.
Right.
Because all these other blockchains, we know the people who have created them. We see the companies and the deals and what's being brought out to build them up and get them adopted. Um, it's
Yeah.
it's just it's
Point
crazy.
guards in the house.
Yeah, we're so glad
Yeah.
you and your wife are going to Vegas, brother. Yes.
Be blast. Can't wait,
Can't wait to
guys.
hang out. Her birthday's that weekend. So,
Nice.
yeah, we're going to have some fun.
Yep.
And I'm giving Northern a hug. That's going down.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I'm a
Hey,
hugger. So,
OG Mac, are you going to be in Vegas? Love to meet that dude. Great show, by the way. You guys should really look into his show too.
yeah, Ghost Money is a good show.
Yeah.
Great
show.
We're so excited that someone else is doing it. Does Surfer have his own show? Did I see a
Yeah,
link
he
to that?
does. He has
Cool.
I've only seen like 2 or 3 of his shows, but they're really good. He's a really sharp dude. Really sharp. He understands the money, the system. He's his earlier stuff, he used to be a lot more conspiratorial, I want to say.
A little more tinfoil than that.
Yeah. But
Okay.
we've all had to kind of tone that back or talk about it in Patreon more. But that's kind of where we had to go. But yeah, he's down on a beach town somewhere, SoCal. And yeah.
Welcome, Sean. Sorry they're tearing up your beautiful
Daytona Beach.
Floridian town with with
Chopperville.
with motorcycle noise and dust and debris.
Yep. Yeah, stacking surfer. Yeah, YouTube, brutal stuff. Yeah, man, we need to hang out. I'd love to go down. I go down to San Diego. I drive to San Diego like once a month. I'm a captain on a yacht, so I don't know if he knows that. So I go down there once a month. It would be nice maybe to stop over and have a cup of coffee on my way down. That'd be fun. Chat for a bit. Really sharp guy. Now I remember who I was talking. The 3 of us were talking, and it was Joe Brown, I want to say. Yeah, Joe Brown.
Joe Brown.
What's the name of his show, Brent?
Oh man,
Heresy Finance.
Heresy Finance.
Yeah.
I can't believe I forgot. I watch it. I really think
that's a sharp dude.
That dude, I hope he's going to be at Vegas, and I hope you all get a chance to talk to him because he'll be on some long running 40,000 foot conversation, and you'll just kind of end up standing in that circle around him and then just like listening, trying to sponge up. Wow, dude. Wow.
He's one of those. Yeah, he's one of those people that when you just stand next to him, you get smarter. Just standing there. Like he's one of those guys. Yeah. But only he puts it so well.
From the ground 3 inches that day.
Yeah. Love that guy, man. Good dude.
Surfers in San Clemente.
Yep. Yeah, Joe is awesome, man. Great guy. So smart.
Mhm.
And he has a great financial background. So, yeah. Heresy Finance, if you guys haven't looked into his show. Yeah. Yeah.
Hey, Sean,
Right.
J Crypto, Alchemist Professor. It's great to see y'all in the chat.
Wow.
Great to
Look,
see you.
Mike's in the house. I don't want to give his full name away, but through osmosis. Yeah. Yeah, this is good fun, man. These Sundays. I wasn't sure everybody was going to show up today since we skipped last weekend, but yeah, so glad everybody could make it. Yeah,
Go ahead, Dad.
go ahead, Brent. Are you going to answer Cody's question?
Well, like with Cody, we're talking about exchanging numbers and like we wanted to be able to email and contact OG and what's the best way to get that done now, Dad? You're doing more of
Well,
that than I am.
I really think to just go to our website. Unfortunately, I mean, that's the best way to reach us is just shoot me an email, and if you remind me who you are, and we can probably exchange numbers. That'd be the best way to do it.
Yeah,
for sure. In particular, if you're going to be in Vegas, we want to get a hit list of everybody's phone number because Ron's not in the chat. I haven't seen him here today. He might be lurking back there somewhere, but we plan on filming everybody that I can get my hands on in a person-to-person way of who's going to be in Vegas and what your thoughts are of where your life is, what's going on with you in crypto and what's happening. And we just want to have a chat, person to person, group conversation. And we'd like to record it and make something special for everybody and to really feel like they're a part of what's going on with the whole movement. And it's going to be fun. So if you're going to be in Vegas, for sure, you need to hit us up because we're going to need your number just to say, hey, we're at this location now. Come on over. Or we're over here now. We're up by the pool. We're, so we can, at least spend some time with you. I don't want anybody to go to Vegas and we don't hang out with you for a bit. That's what I'm trying to avoid.
We're going to cook up a schedule too. And I was talking about this with Point Guard. We'll cook up a schedule to where it's like, okay, this day we're going to commit to this. We'll be at the pool at this time. And then
commitment.
Yeah, I know, which is a lot for us, but because of what my dad just said, it would be wrong if we didn't get to spend at least a little bit of time with each of you. That's why we go. That's why we make a trip to Las Vegas. Is to see you.
Yeah. Yeah, well, I can't wait to see everybody. Alchemist asked about, is it too late to buy crypto? Buy Bitcoin, is that what he said? No, I don't think it's too late to buy Bitcoin. In fact, I'm not going to give financial advice, but I'm going to give advice that if I had some cash laying around, what I might do with it. Okay. If I already had my bag was packed, if you know what I mean, with the coins that you already love, and you're looking for a new place to drop some money, I really think that it's not going to be too much longer, and you're going to have to pay either a premium to get a Bitcoin or any Satoshis, or you're not going to be able to find the stuff because corporate is buying all of it. And I just heard a stat the other day that not only are they not selling all 900 that they're mining each day, the miner's like, I'm not selling right now. Right. No way. Hello. So those 900 even aren't on the market. So, yeah. In particular, that coin, I think it's probably in your best interest if you have done your homework and your research and you know that you would like to own that coin one day or more of it. That's one that there's kind of a time schedule on that one, if you will, compared to the others. Yeah. Yeah. Yep. Yeah, we bought ours in 17 too. Not that I own any of it or anything like that, because it's It's in Davy's locker on my thumb drive. I don't know what happened to it. Yeah. Let's see.
Yeah, holler at us, Sean.
Yeah. Oh yeah, Adrian, I totally agree. I'm really thinking that when XRP goes ETF or gets really, what are they up to? Like 30 or 40 states now they're already committed to, and like 50 nations. When they get the other 20 states and they're able to just go live in the US and say, oh yeah, well, everybody knows that. We're all using XRP on the banking system. That's when it's going to get scarce, but not until then. You know what I mean? Yeah. Yep. Yeah. And that's when I think actually there'll come a time when Bitcoin levels off, and that'll be it. That'll be those days. Like I was talking earlier in the show, there's going to be a spike with this. There is a spike right now with this. And then the next spike will probably be Ethereum's ETF. And then the next spike's probably going to be, XRPs, Yeah. Yeah, Abe, XDC, man. I love that project, actually. What's his name? Is going to be a guest speaker in Vegas. Jones. Percy Casey Jones. Terrible. I can't remember his name right now. Anyway, he's a brilliant young man. We don't see eye to eye on Bitcoin, but that's okay. Yeah, he's really sharp kid, man. Quincy Jones. Thank you, Abe. Yes. Quincy is the real deal, man. That guy is super sharp. I can't wait for you to meet him, Brent.
Nice.
Yeah. Yeah.
Mr. Jones.
I met him last year. I maybe spent 5 minutes talking to him, and I walked away going, yeah, I just got smarter. Yeah, that's what happened to me right there. The other guy I learned a lot from last year was from God, he's brilliant too. You guys can help me out in chat. Who's the English company that always traded XRP even though they went through the lawsuit? You could always buy XRP the whole time. And they're based out of England, London. They were at the show, and the CEO of the company was there, and he and I must talk for 35 minutes, and I was blown away. I was like, Uphold. Thank you very much. Yeah. I knew the chat would get it. Uphold. That dude, oh my God. He took me in my knowledge of where the future is going to like 5 steps up. And I was blown away. I was like, and you've already lined all this out. And he goes, oh yeah, that's where we're going. That's not maybe, that's what they're going to do. And it's when you understand what their plans, their future plans of the way your wallet's going to work with your everyday life, stupid simple is the key. All this wallet stuff that all of us are dealing with right now, we are not going to have to deal with much longer. Yeah. Yeah. Uphold. Yeah. He was brilliant.
That's awesome.
He was way better in person than he was on stage. On stage, I was kind of like, I didn't get much from that. But in person, I was like, wow. Yeah. Yep.
Can't wait to meet him.
Yes. Yep. Yep. There's so many great projects. There was so many. Here's the thing, guys. That show in Vegas, and I know we're pumping the show, but there were so many people that you were just standing there talking to them, and the next thing you know, they'd walk away and somebody go, you know who that guy was? And I'm like, no. I was like, I was the CEO of Uphold. Oh, it's not like, you're just hanging out with people, right? That's what I loved about the show. You weren't, it wasn't like, oh, they're better than us over there and that. Well, there was some of that going on, but I'm not going to lie about that. But there was some of that going on, but I wasn't part of much of that. I wasn't invited in those circles, if you know what I'm saying. But it was just so much fun just to be hanging out. Yeah, Brenda remembers like the last night we were all there, we're just all sitting around buying each other drinks at a table. And it was like everybody that you would want to know or want to meet in the Army was pretty much there. And you could talk to any of them any way you want, any conversation you want. It was so. Our cat just grabbed something.
That's
You know, we want
a flying animal.
Yeah. Yeah.
Where is it?
If you have a choice between H-bar and flare, what would you? That's an easy one for me because I just we may or may not have bought one of those two coins yesterday. Actually, I'm being told by my attorney I'm not supposed to say which one of those two I bought.
We do not give financial advice on this channel.
We don't do that.
Thank
I
you
would
all for
buy.
tuning in.
If I had $1,000, I'd put 500 on each. How's that for an answer? Man, you want to own both those, if you ask me. But I'm one of those guys that likes to really diversify.
Dad Atlantic asked, when did the light bulb go off for you, Alan? What was the single most thing that changed your mind on crypto? What a great question.
That's brilliant. It's funny. This is a great story. I started following crypto and I started going, okay, well, I tell the story a lot, but I had told my brother that it was all a Ponzi scheme and it was Pokemon coins and stay away from Bitcoin. It's just stupid and ridiculous. And it's just, don't do that. And like a week after giving them all that really terrible advice, I thought, you're a liar, man. Why did you don't know anything about that stuff? Maybe you should figure it out. Maybe you should figure out what's going on here. So I just spent a couple of months actually just trying to learn what I could about it. But the aha moment for me, it's funny, we were talking about precious metals, was one day I was watching Bitcoin and it went from $250 to $400 in like 2 days, in like 48 hours. And I can remember that gold was 350 at the time. And I thought, it's worth more than gold. What the hell's going on here? How did it get more valuable than gold? Because I remember I've been a gold bug, a silver precious metal guy since the 80s. I'm like, how is that possible? What is it these people know that I don't know? And then I really, really went down the rabbit hole. And then I got into Ethereum and Litecoin. And my wife still reminds me that if we put all the money that we put in all those other coins, that we put it into Bitcoin, we would probably be a whole lot better off financially had we just put it all into Bitcoin. We didn't. We diversified, but that's kind of how I got into it. And it really, for me, I got it right away. The first time I read the white paper, I tell this story a lot, but it bears repeat. Halfway through the paper, I don't know, whatever it was, like 8 pages, right? Like halfway through it, I literally set the thing down and said, that's probably the most brilliant thing I've ever read. Ever read. And then I thought, well, there's got to be a catch, right? So I finished reading it and I was working on the boat when I did it. So I'm kind of walking around the boat and I'm washing some stuff and doing some stuff in the engine room. And I couldn't stop thinking about it. The white paper. And at the end of like an hour or two later, I said, I've got to read that again. I've got to find what's wrong here. You know how we all of our minds are like, let me break this, right? I've been trying to break Bitcoin ever since. And I can't. I don't know how it fails. I just can't figure it out. And when you listen to lamestream media, after 15 years of trying to break it, still try and break it, it becomes comical. Now it's to the point it's like, well, you people are just like Wall Street's buying it, nations are buying it. Russia's mining it, China's banned it 5 times, right? India's banned it 3 times, and it's legal again. It's like how they've tried to stop this, and if they could, they would have. They clearly can't. So, and I really believe that all the top coins, in particular, I'm not a big fan of Ethereum. I think there's a lot of people that know that on this show. In particular, I really, really like. I know Cardano a lot. I just like it a lot. I like how open the source is on it. The founder, to love him or not, Charles Hoskinson is who he is. I think Cardano would be a lot better off without him being the lead guy. But on the other hand, he can't do anything about that coin anyway. It's set sail. It's on its own. So he can't change it. So that's what I really love about that coin, and XRP is just the brilliant team behind XRP is just invaluable. That's the most fundamentally sound cryptocurrency there is. Fundamentally. Like, it has more network and power and brains and talent, and it's opened more doors, and it's just truly the future of banking in so many different ways. And like, once you know that, you can't unknow it. So
Yep.
I don't know if I answered the question.
Exactly. No, you did. No, Atlantic loved
Yeah.
your answer. That's
Yeah.
your own. I love that you tell that story, Dad. Your own assumption that it's pizza guy money, and
Yeah.
then seeing, the growth and the, what it's gonna do, and then that understanding that I don't think this is going away, and then trying to prove that, I don't know, it could be cracked, it could fail, and then
Yeah.
years down the road, we're at the point of like, I don't see how it fails. I really don't.
No.
I got mine right here. So the first solo videos I ever did on the channel, where I think I did like 6 or 7 of them.
Yeah.
I was reading this when I started. So my dad's like, this is the future, dude. You need to look into this. Like, this is crazy. This is different. Yada, yada. Still didn't understand, right? You got to look into it. You got to understand it for yourself. So I open the book, and the very first chapter, page 5, gets into 5 core concepts of blockchain. And I thought they really illustrated it. They really discussed it beautifully, to where understanding, and why I named it the blockchain 5: distribution, encryption, immutability, tokenization, and decentralization. Once you understand those concepts, and you understand what those concepts are and what they do, and how they work for a system, for people, for trade, and then how they all work together. And then as I started to go through Ivan on Tech, learned what my dad was just saying. I learned about Bitcoin, I learned about Ethereum, and how those things work. And then understanding that those philosophical principles are written into immutable code.
Yeah.
That was the light. When I read those 2 pages, that was the light bulb. And when I try to explain it to people now, like, I wrote how I would explain crypto or blockchain to people on 1 page recently, just one piece of one blank sheet of paper. Okay, here's all the ideas. If I can get you thinking about all these different concepts and how it works, that light bulb will go off for you. And I still talk about those 2 pages to this day, because that, I think, is one of the most important things for us all to understand going forward, because we're kind of ambassadors of this thing now. We've
Yeah.
We bought it. We own it. We know how to secure it. We talk about it. We encourage each other in it.
Yeah.
And there's going to be a whole new wave of folks coming at it very soon. And writing that one piece of paper, I think, was the most important thing that I could do, because it's, if I can help somebody, if I can, from all our knowledge that we've all shared together, come
Yeah.
up with that and deliver that in 5-10 minutes, that's more than, hey dude, you should go out and buy this. Yeah, no, it's gonna be huge, man. No, it's like when the light bulb goes off, that is teaching somebody how to fish. That's not
Yeah.
handing them a fish, you know.
No.
And I want to know the cruise moments. Robert said he was in a boat with an 80-year-old, and the 80-year-old explained
Right.
it to him, and it's been his passion ever since. Amazing.
Yeah.
Yeah, I didn't mean anything by the pizza guy thing, Sean.
Brent, did you see what was the title of the book again, Brent? OG was asking.
The real business of blockchain. And what the book gets into, if anybody's interested, it's still a great read. At the time too, I was talking to people about it a lot, and I ran into somebody who's in a corporation. It's like a security company, fire suppression, all that kind of stuff. And she's like, yeah, no, our company's expanding into it. We're trying to understand it. And so the book gets into the complete blockchain, whereas the world economy and all these corporations going forward, it's clearly not advantageous to run or use a blockchain where decentralization is involved, because for their corporation, their strength is in the one point that they control.
Yeah.
So they get into the 5 being a complete blockchain. And then as companies, and they mentioned so many in the book that are looking into it, but the future of that complete blockchain is also going to be enhanced by, yes, things like AI, things like Web 3.0, the Internet of Things, the ability for us to have very simple, stupid wallets, all those, other different innovations that have to happen in our everyday life for us to be able to use it.
Yep.
That will also enhance the core of those principles that are written in a blockchain. And so a lot of the book is about kind of the trend of all these, not governments, not talking about governments, talking about corporate, use of blockchain technology. It's like, yeah, man, this would be great for us to people to trust us, to make it immutable, and we can tokenize our products. And so they get into all that in The Real Business of Blockchain. Really great book. I've gone back and marked and looked in pages of it 100 times.
Yep.
So good. I love a good crypto book.
Yeah. It's so interesting how we all got on this path, and we're all so individually different and how we got here. But one of the things I really want to commend everybody is Slave just mentioned he got laughed at the first time he explained Bitcoin to somebody. You all have diamond hands at this point, and you've been through a lot. And like I mentioned earlier in the podcast, what is it, 800 days, since our last bull. You understand something, that it's real, and you get it. And you have to be commended, because a lot of people didn't understand this, and a lot of people gave up on it, or a lot of people just, oh yeah, I lost money and I quit. Well, you never did. You learned more. You gained more knowledge, you had understood more, you opened books, you watched podcasts, you learned from people, and things resonated with you about this technology that you, in your own mind, can't make it fail. That was the beauty for me. I still can't make coins fail. I'm like, "Well, how's that going to fail?" Like, it's not gonna fail. And then when you start seeing the adoption of it, and then it start being picked up, and now Wall Street's in, it's like, well, that was a really people think politicians matter. No. The last holdout now is banks. And then what did I just hear last week? Yeah, Wells Fargo wants to sell ETFs in the branch. So the banks are done. What's the next hurdle? Politicians listen to what the bankers tell them to do, period. Right. So, done deal, man. Done deal. And you guys held out for that whole time. And you hold something that's going to be a really tough decision you're going to have to make. That's the hardest thing you're going to have to do is decide what number you're going to take for this thing that you've spent years of your life holding on to. It's a tough one, man. Getting out of a bear market or a bull market. Wow, it's tough, guys. That's a tough one. We're gonna have to really work on that one together. Yeah.
Yeah. Start making your plan. Not our plan, your plan. Hey,
What?
OG, I loved your comment earlier too. His sister moved to Japan, and he's able to send her money via XRP XLM. That's
Yeah,
rad,
that's
dude.
nice.
That is so rad. What was his question? What do you got, Dad?
I had a comment on my video the other day that I thought was so cool. There was a gal who wrote, you know, I I've convinced or changed my mom's view on crypto because of your videos. You and my mother are the same age. And whenever I see one of your videos that really resonates with me that I think my mom could get a lot out of, I send it to her. And she, after I think it was 2 videos ago now, she said, "My mom finally wants to buy some crypto." And she was thanking me for the fact that, the way you explain things to people of your generation or in simple terms that people can understand, I couldn't because I was too close to my mom. You know, those you don't know what's gonna resonate with you. You know what I mean? For me, it was kinda telling my brother a BS story, you know? It resonated with me, like, I better learn something. What am I doing? I'm lying to my
Right.
own brother about something, you know? That's not cool. What am
It's not, well, and Dad, it's not you. Is that
No.
it's
I
that light
try not
bulb, of like, man, that's not me. I should look
Yeah, I
into
was like,
this.
"No, I don't like that guy in the mirror. That's not the good guy in the mirror." That was the young drunk guy in the mirror probably. Uh, yeah.
What was one of your first rookie mistakes in crypto? Which one?
Which one? Yeah.
Which one?
I
I sold. Yeah, there's one. Um, I there the I talked about it at our last live show. Um, I was gonna buy. Golly, there's so many names now. I'm terrible with names. Anyway, there's crypto, and it was before the last bowl, and I had a bunch of cash laying around, and I was ready to get in, and I didn't pull the trigger. I didn't pull the trigger, and um, that trigger pull that I would have done would have essentially set me up for life. And like going back to the conversation we had about if you didn't buy the house, you just rented and you bought Bitcoin 10, 15 years ago. I think that's when I did have the means to actually do it. And I saw the trend, and I'd been following this company, and I really did my homework on it, and I still didn't have the brass to
Yeah.
take risk. take a risk. Like I was saying earlier too, like when you get into any of this stuff, don't make this your rent money ever that you put in, that this is
No.
I lit it on fire. I lit it on fire. And if I do make gains on it, awesome. But for right now, I'm hodling, and I'm hodling something that I see, and I'm in a community of people that sees it trending
Yeah.
so far into the future that none of us can evaluate how fast it's going
No.
to get adopted, how much it's going to cost, all of that stuff. We have no idea.
No.
But we all are kind of sure on it ain't going anywhere, and not even the man can get rid of this thing. This blockchain is out the lamp. Cat is out
Yeah.
the bag.
Yeah.
People know how to do this right now. I could spend a week reviewing, and I could build a blockchain. I could.
Yeah.
And if I can do it, trust me, you can do it. So
Yeah. It's such a, like, I'm reading, I just read Crypto Professor. I must have read 15 comments when the war broke out in Ukraine about people being able to send crypto to Ukraine, people in Ukraine, when they couldn't send anything else. And you still can't send anything through Swift to Russia. You can send crypto, right? They got the whole Swift thing locked up. And, what was it? The Canadian truckers turned around RFK Jr. That was the day he understood Bitcoin, right? He talks about it all the time. He's like, wow, I didn't understand the value of Bitcoin until the trucker moment, when the only thing the Canadian government couldn't stop was people getting their Bitcoin. He was like, that opened my eyes. And it's like that. We need more of that. What is this? I need to figure this thing out. And now he's just claiming to want to build an economy around it. That kind of vision is that aha moment that we all get. And when you get it and you understand it, you're like, okay, all we need is Bitcoin, XRP, and a handful of maybe others, and you could change this damn world financially. And all this banking rhetoric, I talked about it 2 weeks ago. I had just wired some money, and it was just like the 20 questions, and I had to lie. I had to lie to this lady about what I was doing with the money. It's like, none of your damn business.
None yet.
Send my damn money where I tell you to send it. Like, I don't, what,
Yeah. My loved one is in a war zone right now.
Right. Yeah.
And they need money to eat. And I can't do that.
Yeah.
That doesn't fly, folks. That bird don't fly.
Yeah.
Not good enough.
And that's why I always say, and I think I might even have coined this phrase, but I may have, I don't know, but crypto is the answer to tyranny. Because, they can try to enslave you any way they want. I know they're going to try to enslave us with CBDCs. I get that. But I don't think that's going to work. If you got, I don't know, the top 20 coins, good luck. How are they going to stop it? They've tried. If they could have stopped Bitcoin by now, they would have. They just would have already. I had that discussion with a friend of mine who's a big time IT guy. And he's like, well, they're just going to make it go away one day, Alan. I said, look, I won't use his first name, but anyway, I'd be like, look, I don't care how big their military is. How are you going to stop it? Oh, they could do it, Alan. I'm like, okay, then why haven't they? Why are they allowing nations all around the world mine it? Why aren't they stopping this thing that they don't want money going to these truckers in Canada? Why didn't they stop it? Well, they could if they wanted to. No. No, man, you're looking at money from the old way we move it. which is
Mhm.
archaic at best. Yeah. Yeah. It's bad. It's bad that we've been so brainwashed into we think money is actually the US dollar. We think that's actually money. It's not
Mhm.
even good currency. It's certainly not money. Money is,
It is not
precious
money.
metals. Yeah. Money is something to be valued or held onto, and it doesn't lose its value, right? It's so absurd that we've been lied and conned since 71 that we think that what we're playing with right now is actually of any form of value at all. Yeah.
J
Anyway.
Crypto, they now joined us. And I responded
Yeah.
earlier to Hoofty, his first bull run early, folks. Better to be
Way early.
first early. We're taught we're sold on the idea of it's the first person through the wall is the bloodiest, right?
That's it.
So hard to start something and get it going and all, that is fluff, man. That is something like this that creates sound trade that gives the ability to send tradable money
Yeah.
to people anywhere in the world. That is something that people should have, and
Yeah.
that's worth philosophically starting a channel and running through the wall line. It
Yeah.
just is.
Can you imagine if you made, okay, let's say you made, I don't know, $2,500 a month. Okay.
Mhm.
And 6 months later, your $2,500 is worth $3,000. That's where we're at with this stuff. If you look at it over time, Bitcoin, I think, is somewhere between 70 and 100% value increase annually if you go over, a 4-year period. Like your money grows in value. Wow. Like that's even better than a gold standard in the sense that I love gold standard if we could ever get back to it, but who's got how much gold? That's the problem with gold. And when they counted it, where is it now? Like as soon as the guy walks out of the room counting it and goes back and says, yeah, those guys are good for, they got 20 bars. Okay. Do we know the bars are still there? We don't, right? And we really, we need something that can be accountable. And I don't know if Bitcoin's the answer. I really don't. And I'm sure technology is going to prove Bitcoin ancient one day. And there'll be other coins, but for now, it's the best alternative we have. Yeah.
Mhm.
Probably in my lifetime, I would imagine.
Yeah, great comment, Adrian. It's what people want. The
Yeah.
majority of the you go and ask 10 people on the street if they want war. How many of those people are actually saying yes?
Nobody
None.
wants war. No.
Nobody. Nobody wants that. And
No.
so nobody wants bad leadership. Nobody wants a corrupt system. And all the comments are so good, everybody. It's like, yeah, we want freedom and we
Yeah.
want the ability to choose and we don't want tyranny. We know what all those things lead to. We have a whole
No, that's right.
history. We have a whole history of what that all leads to, and it makes people desperate and fearful, and that is
It
not what
does.
we are here talking to all of you about. Um,
No.
what I love talking to my dad about, a lot of it when we started this channel is, we wanted the opposite for people. We were tinfoil hat guys forever because of all the tyranny and all the corruption and all the, we dug deep. We went down the rabbit hole on a lot of this stuff.
Yep.
And it was like, man, we don't want that. We don't want
No.
that. That's not good. Not
No.
good.
Yeah, and
What?
when we see real leadership from real people that care about their people, Bukele comes to mind on El Salvador. Um, it, it, it I was going to do a show about this, but it's such a great point that I'm going to bring it up.
Yeah.
How I know when I talked about Warren Buffett, almost said Jimmy Buffett, Warren Buffett, and how he's full of it. Okay, always has been full of it. I've followed the guy for 40 years. You can tell me he's a saint if you'd like, but I know better. Back in my days when I was studying to be a stockbroker back in the mid 80s, he was God. And we all thought he was. And he proved me wrong a million times over in the last 40 years. Anyway, that guy, how I know he's lying to everybody every single day of his life is never has he ever come to the public and said, our money is broken. Done. All of us on our channels, everybody who's got a channel, OG and Silver Stacker, I'm a
Yeah, surfer.
surfer. Yeah. All these people that have these channels, okay, in this alternative media, all of us understand the problem. That's the basic problem. We're fixing the problem. We're coming up with solutions here, people. And they're ignoring the big giant elephant in the room. Like, oh no, there's nothing wrong with the dollar here. Nothing to see here, people. Oh, Bitcoin's a scam. And it's what do you call it? Baby rat poison or something. It's just like,
Pet
wait a
rock.
minute. Yeah. What's the matter with you, man? Whoa, wait. It's got accountability to it. When's the last time the Fed was audited, brother? Oh, that's right. Never. That's a big question that they're not. That's how I know they're full of it. That's your BS detector right there. It's real simple. Yeah. Um, yeah, politicians want war. Yeah, it's unfortunate, but it's how they distract us from, intelligent conversations like these.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I can't wait till we can get on X spaces where we can get people to call in and talk, man.
Yeah. Let's get that done.
Yeah. Somebody
That's going
know
on
Elon?
Just going on
Does
a short
anyone have
list.
Elon's number?
Yeah.
Yeah. It's because we'd like to have that. I'd love to have chats, with you guys in here. We will one day. It's gonna be fun, guys. Yeah.
Oh yeah. It is the
I'm
future of the crew. What do you got going on,
I'm
Dad?
I gotta get moving.
All right.
I've had way too much fun.
Mm-hmm.
And it's sort of an inside joke, but I need a cat bowl.
Yeah.
So but
Man.
yeah.
Seriously, the hardest you've ever made me laugh. Ever. Ever. That was number one. So good. If you come
Uh,
to Vegas and talk to us, we'll tell you the cat bowl story.
yeah, there's a cat bowl story
Maybe we'll
involved with
just
that
make a
one.
Patreon video out of that.
I don't know if the animal lovers would care for that one much. I love cats, so let's, don't call PETA on me, please. Yeah. Um, oh yeah, like and subscribe. I'm supposed to ask that. Like and subscribe. Thanks,
Yeah,
Elizabeth.
please
She's
do.
getting hungry. I think she's prepping our dinner. We're about to have dinner upstairs.
Nice.
Cody, love you, man. Get a hold of me. Text me later and we'll try and figure out a time.
Please give Cody
Okay.
my number, Dad.
I will. Yeah. So, and surfer
Robert,
stacker, stacker
thanks for
surfer.
showing up late. Yeah, what stacking surfer?
Yeah.
Everybody, let's check out the stacking surfer. I'm
Interesting
going
channel, guys. Check
I'm
him
going
out.
to after this.
Yeah. Very interesting. He does some cool
Let's
stuff.
keep man. Our community is growing with with other channels too. With OG and Ghost Money, we Dad and I, privately talked about it too. We love his channel, what he's doing.
Yeah.
Simon Says Crypto, like,
Yep.
I know my dad and I can't wait to just work with him for the rest of our lives.
Yep.
There's very few people I trust more than Simon.
Yeah.
I trust that guy with everything I got. So,
Yeah.
you know,
And he has a show with Melissa called Dip a Toe. Look that one up as well. Good people, just genuine. They care about people in crypto. And if you guys have time, I know your time is precious, but if you get a chance, Becky just got in the house. Sorry,
hey,
Becky, we're on our way out of
welcome.
here.
Oh
Brenda,
man,
we're gonna see you. We're gonna see you again next Sunday, but I can't wait to see you, girl, in Vegas. So, all right, B-man, let's get out of here. I'm starving.
let's get out of here. Love you all. Have a
We would
wonderful
never.
rest of your weekend. Have a great week. Stay awesome.
Yep. We love you all.
We